was the one who launched Ola Electric, the burning topic. I mean, we have seen so many good brands going into IPO, doing decently well. I think we have just scratched the surface of AI. The way I look at AI, right, is AI increase the efficiency of whatever you do. I did not have a single mentor, to be honest. I look up to several folks from the industry.
Today, we have a very special guest with us from D2C sector, Arpan Viswas, the CMO of Agio. Arpan, we are very happy to have you on our podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Nidhi. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Arpan, I was just going through your profile on LinkedIn and I saw that you are an IIT and an IIM. How that journey has been for you?
It worked out well, I guess. I mean, doing a podcast with you. So I completed my engineering in 2008 and MBA in 2010, post which primarily have been working. Though I got into engineering, but was never a big fan of civil, the department I was a part of. So I was always very keen to be in advertising, and that's how I got into marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how from IIMs to the CMO of Agio, how that journey has been for you? Is there any like a stepping stone in your career which has led you to be the CMO of Agio?
Uh, I won't say there was any stepping stone as such. It had a lot of hiccups in between for sure. Uh, uh, Good roles, decent roles I wasn't happy in. But hopefully things clicked out and I'm in a good place right now, working with a great team and a fantastic boss. And we have grown really well in the last few years. So overall, I won't say it was linear. It had its own fair of ups and downs,
And
but
yeah.
it has been extremely fulfilling for me because I got a chance to work across different sectors, different industries, starting from FMCG to automobiles, to real estate, and currently in fashion.
Okay. So, like I said, you have studied in prestigious institute like IIT and IIMs. I wanted to understand today you have been doing so great in life. How much of it comes from the experience you have gathered in corporate sector, and how much of the things comes from the learnings that you had in your institutes?
I think I'm doing fine, and it has to a lot to do with luck as well. To be honest, being at the right place, at the right time, maybe. But having said that, a good college obviously helps you with the right network, and more than the network, it's about the rigor that you go through in a place like an IIM or an IIT. I remember having sleepless nights before exams or doing multiple assignments. I mean, running around and doing fest plus I mean the classes and stuff. So I think that has brought in the discipline and the rigor which is required in to excel in corporate. So I would say it's the network plus the discipline which has probably propelled me to be where I am today.
So you said that you have worked across sectors,
Yeah.
FMCG, automobiles, real estate, and now fashion and tech as well. So I'm sure the product, vision, mission, and the strategy changes a lot when it is different sectors. What is one thing that has been constant for you in your marketing strategy, and what has been keep evolving with the new sectors you enter?
I think what stays constant in marketing, I mean, the core of marketing stays constant, right? The 4Ps, 7Ps, STP, which we all have
Do
studied
you
in,
still follow that?
of course.
4P,
Of
7Ps?
course.
I have left it
That's,
long back.
I mean, that's a good framework to have in your mind, right? To look at any problem. So obviously we follow that, but we also look at far more complex frameworks as well.
Yeah.
Uh, that was what had stayed the same. What also has stayed the same is you have to be as close to the customer as possible. Keep talking to them, understanding, listening, and trying to figure out what is the need of the user, right? Because everything is bottom up from the customer. Uh, what has changed? What changes across different sectors? I would say one, the life cycle of the product is very crucial. So when I
Okay.
was launching Ola Electric, so I was the one who launched Ola Electric, the burning topic these days, right? Uh, I, I mean, it was a new launch, so it was all about building consideration for the product. So that life cycle was very different compared to what I'm doing at Agio, where it's an e-commerce platform. You don't have to build any awareness for the
For
brands
the
we
brand
sell,
because it's
right? It's
already
already
there.
there. It's
Yeah.
all about building awareness for the
Platform maybe.
platform rather,
Yeah.
right? So I think it depends on that. It also depends on the business life cycle or the business uh, growth plans. So in a place like say when I was in Britannia, it was more in expansion phase across Middle East. So it
Okay.
was all about building awareness among Indians plus locals, right,
Hmm.
across entire Middle East. Wherein in my current role, it's it's more leveraging the awareness which you already have. So
Hmm.
it depends from category, depends on the business life cycle. So I don't say there any specific
Constants.
mantra or constant to it. It
Yeah.
changes depending on the different categories and stuff.
Marketing has evolved over the years from
Yeah.
traditional ways of marketing to digital to now AI. We have seen that shift happening right before our eyes. We now make decision based on creativity along
Yeah.
with data
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
There's a lot of insight that goes into creativity as
Yeah.
well. What's been the most exciting part of that shift for you?
To be honest, I mean in the last 14 years, the first few years was in FMCG and auto, in categories which are more established, in brands which are more established in nature. Uh, Traditional played a very, very important role there. I won't say numbers did not or data did not have any role to play in there
Yeah,
because I mean in FMCG you look at so many different kinds of data, primary, tertiary,
always,
secondary, right?
always.
Plus
Yeah.
the RMS Nielsen data or the TNS brand tracker data. There's so many different data to look at. But I think the go-to-market time has reduced thanks to digital because
Yeah.
you can fail fast. You can try out smaller pilots.
Lot of things. Yeah.
Yes, and the go-to-market time has reduced, which has to an extent taken away the mode from competitive advantage that brands to have. You
Hmm.
can replicate anything any moment. I mean, in quick commerce, when Zepto started 10 minutes, they were the pioneer of 10-minute
Yeah.
delivery, right? Everyone replicated in few months or few
Yeah.
days, right?
Yeah.
So I think that kind of has changed where you can try things faster. You can nullify the
Fail
competitive
faster.
edge
Yeah.
of the competition really, really fast.
I think you can improvise faster also because you
Yes,
learn so much.
yes,
Zepto has been copied in all possible ways. Now Zepto
yes,
Cafe has also been copied.
yeah.
I started my career in market research, primary market research with Nielsen.
Okay.
And we used to do so much research for Unilever, for Mondelez, so much of it.
Yes,
And they do not go in market without getting the result completely okay.
yeah,
So even for Fair and Lovely, they had 99% market share.
yeah,
Even then, they were doing more research
yeah.
to optimize on the product, to make it more
No,
better.
when you have 99% market share, you
You have
need
to retain
research.
also.
I mean, you need research. I mean, you are almost a monopoly in the category, right?
No, you change the ingredients
Yes,
also. So you want to test that whether it's working, not working. Now the market share has gone drastically
obviously.
down of that product. But I'm just saying that there's that legacy brands who put so much energy, so much
Yeah,
efforts in research, and then there are new age brand who are just like maybe a pilot is okay for them to launch a new product because I think the stakes are lesser than the legacy brands.
investors' money are invested. I mean, you want faster growth. So obviously things are obviously different. I mean, things have changed a lot in the last few years, where you want constant growth from the business, right? At times the cost of product, at times the cost of customers, at times the cost of profitability,
Hmm.
right? But that's how it is. And some brands have done well. I mean, we have seen so many good brands going into IPO, doing decently well. I think it's very subjective in nature, and it depends from business to business.
Okay. Moving on to AI. We spoke about AI as well. I know that Ajio has been using AI in their
Yes.
content marketing and in predictive analysis as well to tap content marketing to tap into moment marketing and predictive analysis basically to tap into to optimize their campaigns. How do you see the future of AI in Ajio strategy, marketing strategies? Where more you want to evolve basically?
I think we have just scratched the surface of AI. The way I look at AI, right, is AI increases the efficiency of whatever you do, right, and amplifies the effectiveness of the campaigns. We have for generative AI,
Mm-hmm.
wherein we primarily use it for creatives, right? We have used tools like Midjourney for images, Kyber, Runway for videos. it has helped us go to market faster. I mean, for moment marketing is
For
very
moment
crucial,
marketing,
right?
yeah.
To create something and release it super duper fast.
Cost
That's
efficient, time efficient.
yes, cost efficient as well time efficient,
Yeah.
absolutely. Secondly, when it comes to predictive AI, internally we have started using it for, say, suggesting customers what they may like, or
Okay.
looking at uh, predicting fraud cases, right? I mean, basis customers' behavior, return behavior, we can predict
Okay.
uh, basis previous data how this customer will behave in the future,
Mm-hmm.
or predict customer LTVs, basis
Okay.
which you decide what kind of discount or offerings to shell out for that customer. Externally, for campaigns, we have leveraged the AI prowess of tools like Meta and Google for Advantage Plus and Performance Max to
Okay.
run our campaigns. And we have seen good results. I mean, we have seen great results when it comes to ROAS of campaigns going up,
Okay.
because these tools are extremely advanced. They have all the data in the world. And we also have used a tool called AdGreets, which kind of helps you personalize at scale
Okay.
basis the requirement of the user and what category you're pushing for him or her, right? We upload like thousands and thousands of creatives, and they customize and personalize the creative
So
basis the customer.
storytelling basically, or just the content?
It's primarily content.
Content.
Yes.
Okay.
The offers or the categories the customer is looking for,
Mm.
right? And they customize it basis that. And we have seen higher CTRs, higher conversion from those.
Are you using this tool across customer journey, like for retention and acquisition as well?
This is primarily for customer retention as well as acquisition. Yes.
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 Okay. There are so many e-commerce brands, like there
Yeah.
is Myntra, there's Amazon getting into fashion, Flipkart also into fashion, some bit of fashion, yeah.
Yes.
So, and there is Ajio as well.
Yes.
So, and Nykaa.
Yes.
So, how do you stand? How does Ajio stand apart from their competition?
I think so much to learn from all the brands, the way they have grown, the way they market themselves, and the customer experience and overall. Uh, every brand, every platform looks at growth, and fashion is one of the best ways to grow, because uh, I mean, it's a perennial category, right? It's a huge category in itself.
Yeah,
So, Nykaa from beauty moved to fashion.
yeah.
All the other ones you mentioned also have similar stories
Yeah,
as well.
electronics to fashion, now focusing on fashion.
Yes, the way I think Ajio differentiates itself is number one, exclusivity. We have the highest number of exclusive brands on the
Brands, yeah.
platform, thanks to the Reliance uh, ecosystem, right, which we're part of, right? Secondly, premiumization. I think in terms of the kind of brands which we have,
Mhm.
international brands at the price points, I think we are one of the premium, one of the most premium platforms uh, there. And we have brands like ASOS, GAS, Diesel, which are exclusively with us, all these
With you,
premium
yeah.
brands. And that's the space we want to be a part of. And I mean, thirdly, I would say I hope marketing differentiates us than others.
Okay, so do you think that storytelling has a play, as a vital role to play in differentiating Agio versus the other brands?
Absolutely. I think storytelling extremely crucial. Unfortunately, in the last few years, because of the chaos of all the e-commerce brands and the media monies being put in because of the amount of money that has been infused in the system thanks to investors, it's a bloodbath, right, across
Yeah.
e-commerce. So within that, it's very important to stand out, and storytelling doing something different and relevant, not just different for the heck of it, and relevant is very crucial. So we have tried a few campaigns which has built the awareness for the brand really well.
Yeah.
One being, I think Flam was a part of it, the
Yeah.
Netflix Hiramandi
For the
campaign which
launch,
we
yeah.
had done, right,
Yeah.
for launching 250 plus
Yes.
uh, ethnic line,
Yeah.
distinct ethnic line, inspired by Hiramandi
House of Ethnics.
House of Ethnics, under the
Yeah.
brand name of House of Ethnics. That has worked really well for us. Or the campaigns which we have done with Shraddha and Shakti, a sale campaign which is so unique and so different, which has worked decently well for us. Uh, I mean, we have been trying to differentiate ourselves through the kind of content we create or the kind of activations we do externally, as well on the app as well. I think that has worked out well for us.
I was actually coming to the collaboration that you have been doing, and I wanted to refer to Shraddha Kapoor and Shakti Kapoor campaign. That was one of the amazing campaigns.
Yeah.
I've also seen that the shoe moving on Bandra Worli ceiling. That is
Oh,
to the
yeah.
launch of
Yes.
Sale.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
also remember that you have collaborated with Snapchat as well, which has
Yes. We
shown you
do a lot
remarkable,
of work with Snapchat.
yeah, remarkable results. So is it basically to stand out from the clutter and brand building exercise?
So I won't say it's just for the heck of standing out, right? I mean, you can do crazy stuff to stand out, but at the end of the day, it should uh, be aligned with the brand ethos, right? What the brand stands for. We obviously try to do different things, but that would be, say, 5% of the overall spends for us,
Okay.
just to create that impact and buzz in the market. I think all the brands try to do that, right?
Yes.
Uh, Leveraging new age technologies, right? The one you spoke about, or but at the core storytelling, at the core, what are the RTBs of the brand, communicating that to the user is very, very crucial. These are more uh, uh, to create the buzz, to keep the
Bus, yeah,
buzz
for the
in the
sale
market for
season.
sale and otherwise, right?
Yeah.
We have done something with Khali where we had sent him the biggest box ever.
Oh,
Yes,
for,
super
to
duper cool
launch a
campaign.
sale, if like
That
big
was
bold
during a
sale.
sale. I think that was a big bowl sale, right?
Okay.
We created a huge box and sent it to Khali because, and it became a huge meme online where people were talking about this box would be having only Khali socks, right? Because the way he is, I mean, he's super fun to work with, right? And if you look at the comments of that post, you will see people are like, "Sir, uh, conduct World Cup." That was the time when World Cup had happened. Conduct World Cup if it is raining inside this box, right? So there's
Okay.
cool memes around it which we saw, and it became a part of pop culture, right?
Hmm.
And that's what we try to do as well, because if you want to cater to the younger generations, I won't say just Gen Z, but people who are young at heart,
Hmm.
right? Uh, Gen Z is a demographic definition, but folks who are young at heart, you need to be a part of pop culture. You need to be part of the recent happenings around the world and create and leverage those to uh, see how the brand connects with those things. Yeah.
So I've seen Ajo getting a lot of influencer marketing award for influencer campaigns, and I've seen the content that you have created with Ayo Shraddha as well.
Yes.
It was hilarious. I mean, it was really good. I sat and actually watched the whole content, which I don't usually do. So it kind of make you glue to it.
Yeah.
So what was the thought of creating such content? What is the thought of doing collaboration with influencers?
See, we have created this property on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
Which is working with uh, folks who are decently popular on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a extremely underutilized medium for
Yeah.
most folks.
Yes.
The cost of advertising on LinkedIn is very high, so a lot of folks who are into B2C don't generally advertise on LinkedIn, right? Because the cost of marketing is pretty high over there. A lot of B2B brands do it because the cost of lead and otherwise it makes sense for them.
Yes. Yes.
So
We
we
do
try,
that a lot.
yes. So we try leveraging shareability on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Uh, that's the first objective for us. Second objective for us was to create something which is fun, which is around corporate, so that it works well on LinkedIn. And third objective was engagement for office folks as well, the employees,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
We clubbed all three to create this IP wherein we call popular stand-up comedians to office, right? We did
Okay.
the first one with Rahul Subramaniam last year.
Okay.
It it was super duper viral on LinkedIn, right? Got more than 170 plus shares, some
Oh.
8,000 likes, which is the highest ever number of likes Rahul got on LinkedIn yet
Okay.
till date. Same for Shraddha one as well. So there's a simple formula which we have before every sale campaign. That's how we activate LinkedIn. Because if you look at it, LinkedIn has folks like us who can afford premium brands, and that's one
Yes.
of the pillars for us, right? So that's how we activate LinkedIn. And simple thought is to create content which is either inspirational or
Shareable.
hilarious or adding some value to the customer's life. So if it ticks any of the boxes, it works well for us.
We had a great opportunity working with Agio for
Yeah,
two campaigns. Like you mentioned Hira Mandi, and recently we have,
ASOS.
yeah, ASOS. We have done OH. That is our first OH campaign. How was the experience for you? How did it go for you, for the customer, and the leadership team
I
in
think
Agio?
organically, externally, firstly the external customers, then I'll come to internal customers, the leadership team and stuff. External customers loved it. I mean, organically, we had got some huge number of shares, because my simple metric for something working or not is shareability, right? If
Okay.
they find something interesting, they'll
They will
share with
share it.
others, right?
Yeah.
They would love to advocate that piece of content for whatever reasons, right,
Yes,
with
yes.
others. So both the pieces of content got immense number of shares, immense number of amount of engagement on the platform, which kind of proves that they worked and they resonated with the users. Internally, obviously, leadership team is never happy if they don't get numbers, right? So that's a never-ending debate which will keep happening. But I think from an awareness point of view, uh, the leadership team got a lot of WhatsApp forwards of the campaign, and they forwarded to me saying it has
Really?
been, yes,
Yeah.
it has
Okay.
been spoken about across groups and stuff. So that kind of gave us a soft approval, right, of them liking the
It's
campaign.
give gratification, like you've
Yes.
done something good.
Such campaigns generally don't result into sales. Obviously, that's not objective
That was
as
not
well.
the
That's
objective
more
as
for
well.
awareness building and creating something which people remember, right? The
Yeah.
quality of awareness is also very, very important. It's not just awareness, right? The quality of awareness to an extent where they share it with others, they talk about it, that's also very, very crucial.
Do you think that brand loyalties are diminishing with technology and more brands coming in picture?
Absolutely.
So there are no
Uh,
brand loyalties per
it's
se.
it's it's very difficult to retain customers. I mean, the loyalties have gone down heavily, primarily because you have the convenience of just downloading an app
Mhm.
to, and the first user offers or the no question asked returns and stuff, right, across multiple platforms, and brands are rolling out great offers to for customer acquisition. So the switching cost has reduced considerably, right,
Yeah.
which used to be earlier. And customers, because one, they're exposed to whatever is happening across the world, right, through reels. So the discoverability of content has
Become,
been very
yeah,
different,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Now they
Everything is through reels, Instagram reels
yes,
keep popping up, and you
yes,
shop through that now.
yes, you shop through that as well. So I think for customers, discovery has been very different the way discover brands, and they are willing to try out new things. They have more options to try out from the D2C brand that have grown and have seen immense surge in their revenues in the recent past. Overall, interesting times, right? And that has reduced the overall loyalty. Secondly, Indian customer are extremely, extremely value conscious.
Absolutely.
I mean, we they're very, very value conscious, and by value I don't mean just price, right? The entire proposition has to make sense for them, and they're willing to wait. They are willing to delay their shopping because they're willing to wait for the right offers or the right experience and
The sale
stuff.
season and so on and so forth.
Yes. So I think interesting times. We have to see how can we solve this through product, through tech, and obviously through the right offers.
Moving on to some leadership questions. You have led marketing teams, like high pressure, high visibility teams. What's your secret to keep your team motivated, especially through rapid changes and customer evolving tight deadlines?
I think number one would be the showing them the purpose of doing something.
Okay.
You're not just doing it for the brand; you're doing it for yourself as well, to create something which no one else has created, giving
Super.
them that sense of fulfillment, right? That you want to do something different and own the work which you do. Secondly, I would say the freedom, right? Everyone, I mean, every mature person of someone who is good enough wants the freedom to try out new things, to explore new things. And in marketing is very subjective in nature,
Mm-hmm.
right? So giving them the freedom to try out different things and hearing them out is very, very crucial. And third is, I think, if have the end goal in mind, what's the outcome of every campaign? It can be sales, it can be awareness, it can be something as crazy as just engagement for the heck of it, right? So I think if you give them the freedom, if you make them believe in the purpose, not just of the brand, but their own purpose of doing marketing. Why did you come into this field?
Yeah.
Because you want to create something unique and different.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of helps.
Being an established brand, do you think you can give a lot of freedom to people who are working with you to try out new things, or it is little shielded or covered?
I think a great question. I think you need to have the guardrails in place.
Yeah.
Uh, but having said that, you should also try out things which are at times slightly unique, because these days customers are willing to forgive you because there's so much of content, right? A lot of brands in the recent past, I don't know if you have seen the Kachra campaign, the Lagan Sky campaign on Zomato,
I've seen that. Yeah.
right? And Zepto recently sent that IPL notification. Customers going to forget you because the attention span or
It's very
the
short.
memory is extremely short-lived, right? So you try out new things, but within the brand ethos, try being almost within the brand ethos. But at times, if the content is extremely interesting, you should, in my opinion, you should not be restricted by what the brand stands for, and try out something which is unique and different, so that it reaches a bigger mass.
Hmm.
And we have seen, I mean, we have tried out some things which are non-Agio, and it has worked well for us.
Okay. What is one campaign from Ajo that you really love and close to your heart?
I would talk about, it's not a campaign per se, it's a collab with Ranveer Allahabadia.
Okay.
We were the first brand to sponsor a big podcast. And I mean, Ranveer Allahabadia's TRS is the biggest podcast in India, right?
Mm-hmm.
On YouTube. So we sponsored it last year, and the expectation which we had and the output was far superior. The output was far superior than the expectation which we had.
Mentorship can play a big role in
Yeah.
everyone's career. Who has been your mentor, and what is the best advice you have received from leadership team?
I think I did not have a single mentor, to be honest. I look up to several folks from the industry, but
Okay.
given that marketing is changing super fast, I would rather have be learning from peers
Mm-hmm.
who are in the same space and who are doing cool work and good work.
Mm-hmm.
So if I if I have to take a single mentor's name, he is not from marketing. He's my uncle who is a
Okay.
professor, and I generally reach out to him for any kind of suggestions or to discuss about job and otherwise. So I would be
Okay.
saying it's my uncle who is
Who
kind of my
inspires?
mentor, who is a
Yeah.
professor. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, and the suggestion which I got, most important suggestion, I mean, I remember one of my bosses long back had told me for a leader is very crucial uh, not to be constant, to keep changing your mind basis what new information you get, right? So that you are learning and you also make the team learn as well. And that's one suggestion which I have remembered, which I kept with me for the last 6 7 years, and it kind of works well because you can push the team harder when you are not sticking to a single point of view and you change your point of view and thinking not just for the heck of it, but to improvise and to make the campaign or the situation better.
Arpan, that was it. We had a very insightful and a lovely session with you. Thank you so much for coming to Flamcast.
Thank you so much, Nidhi, for inviting me.